Well, it's hard to believe that we're celebrating 50 years of Youngstown Christian School and Valley Christian School. For me, the school has just been an amazing, major part of my entire life, starting with my kids, back in 1992, I think it was, where we were looking for a school to send our kids to that supported the values that we were raising our kids with at home. And Valley Christian School, Youngstown Christian School, back in the day, was that school. And obviously my ties to Highway Tabernacle. So it's been 33 years, hard to believe, 33 years of my life have been part of Youngstown Valley Christian School. And for me, it's the many different areas. Started as a parent first, then as a board member, and now as the president of the school. It's been my career. For me, it's been my children's school, where they have grown in so many ways and are successful today because of that partnership. It was my ministry. It is my ministry, but for many years, my wife and I, it was my wife's and my ministry together, shoulder to shoulder, in the early days at the school. I often think about, as I look back on our history, I think about the shoulders that we're standing on, starting with Pastor Jay Alford and Highway Tabernacle, and down through the years, the many administrators, Mr. Coy, Pastor Johnston, Mr. Agresta, the ones that came before me, we wouldn't be here without them. Teachers, long-term teachers, Ann Long, Susie Hartman, Lynn Vittorio, some that are still here, Mary Mounts, still here, that have, Patty Argo, because being at Valley Christian School, Youngstown Christian School, Valley Christian School is not a job, it's not a profession, it's absolutely a ministry. And because you love kids and you love serving God and what you're doing here. So the biggest blessing for me has been able to do that, been able to mix in my occupation, my career, with my ministry and my purpose in serving God. And that's what we do here.
So, of course, like many other families, we have some generational connections here at VCS. My wife Sarah is an alumna, and my daughter Maria graduated here, and Olivia attended as well. And so some of those roots run deep. But what VCS has meant most to me is its courage to be different. Unlike other Christian schools across the country, we've chosen the harder path of serving the community in which we're located. And Youngstown is not an easy place to serve. One of the highest concentrations of children living in poverty per capita, one of the most segregated school borders in the country, and of course the public district has had challenges over several decades. And VCS chose to engage with our community and to serve the people in the neighborhoods that surround us. And by choosing that harder path and navigating all of the complexities of school choice, we've embraced that mission and we've continued to thrive over many decades. As Dr. Bernard Gant has said, most religious private schools seek to increase the advantages of the already advantaged or increase the privileges of the already privileged. But we chose a different path, to serve everyone who walks through our doors and to transform our city, one child, one family at a time. My best memory during my tenure at VCS was the day that we received our accreditation from ACSI. It was the first time in our nearly 30-year history that this school had been accredited. But what made that moment special was that all of the evaluators who came from peer schools from around our region and actually around the country chose to stay for the announcement to our stakeholders. They had never seen a Christian school quite like this before. And so not only did they accredit us, but they were impacted just by spending time with us. That moment validated our mission and our commitment to transform lives through Christian education. My prayer for VCS's future is that we never lose the courage to be different, and that we stay true to our love more, expect more, be more principles.
So when our family moved here in 2013, my daughter was going into the 11th grade, and there's a lot of concern about leaving her friends and all that, but here's the thing, when she got to then Youngstown Christian, she literally thrived. She was involved in the school play. She came home talking about engaging with her Bible teachers and going back and forth and learning and growing. This school became a lifeline for my daughter Olivia, and really then it became a lifeline for us. And now to know that Valley Christian is really one of the strongest, if not the strongest, evangelism and discipleship entities in the city of Youngstown. We get to partner with the great churches of this city and see families grow and thrive. I love this school.
You know, when I think of Valley, I guess my first impressions were made back when it was Youngstown Christian School. I became a ministry friend with Pastor Jay Alford. And if you become a friend of Pastor Alford, you become engaged with pretty much everything Pastor Alford is doing. And I sat back, you might say, in amazement as I saw this Christian school growing and developing. And not only am I excited about the past and the legacy of Valley Christian over the last 50 years, but just looking forward to the future. There's a passage of scripture in Jeremiah chapter 29 when Jeremiah was speaking to God's people, or God was speaking to his people through Jeremiah. And he says, "For I know the plans that I have for you, plans not to harm you, but to give you a future and a hope." Basically, he was saying that they were living in Babylon. It was a very difficult experience for them, but in the midst of that, they were to thrive. The point being is that they were still to create community in the midst of what seemed to be chaos. And God honored that and brought forth great leaders like Nehemiah and Esther and Ezra out of that community to bring the children back to Jerusalem. So I'm looking forward to seeing how God is going to continue to build community with these young people and their families at Valley Christian, because it's about education, but it's more than just education. It's about life and success in our community.
My husband and I made the decision to send our daughters to Youngstown Christian largely because of the influence of the staff and teachers. We knew that although we would be the primary voice in their lives, that there would be times when we weren't the loudest voice. We wanted them surrounded by teachers who loved them and who would speak life to them. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to teach here and now serve as the principal in the high school. And just so deeply care about the people that we work so closely with, and the students and the families. May our school continue to shine the light of Christ and guide students in their education and their faith.
I am a 1995 graduate of Youngstown Christian School, and now I am an administrator at Valley Christian School. I have seen our mission grow beyond what it once was. Today we are serving families all over Youngstown and sharing God's love in life-changing ways. My hope is that Valley continues to grow, that we are a place where our students can grow academically and spiritually, and a place where they can get inspired to live out their faith.
As I have aged, Micah 6:8 has become a real life verse for me. And Micah 6:8 says, "And what does the Lord require of you but to act justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God?" VCS has given me the opportunity to live out this verse each day and to fulfill God's calling for my life in ways that honor Him and in ways that serve students and teachers and families. VCS has also given me many impactful relationships that I will treasure long after somebody else has taken my position. And for both of these things, I am and I will always be eternally grateful.
My intentions was never to be a high school coach. And I made sure everybody knew that. And God has an incredible sense of humor, and it's been an experience for me that I've had the opportunity to maybe touch some kids' lives, maybe touch some people's lives, maybe be able to plant some seeds and show people who Christ is and what Christ means. And the kids have been truly a blessing for me. I don't know how much of a blessing I've been for them, but they have truly been a blessing for me, and it's given me the opportunity to hold kids accountable and to teach them about life and discipline and do it and be able to do it because they know that I love them. And I think that's maybe if I would sum up one thing about YCS and VCS is that this is a place where kids come that they know that they're loved. And at least I hope they do. And so it's been an incredible opportunity, and it's been a tremendous blessing for me.
Youngstown Christian, Valley Christian's just a really special place to me. From my time as a student, and then a coach, a teacher, and administrator, I've been involved with the school for over 20 years. Through my time as a student, just developing a really close relationship with a close knit group of friends that we stayed together, for a long time, as far as kindergarten through 12th grade. Some memories I can just think back on. They have a lot to do with sports. I remember when I was in 5th, 6th grade, recognizing the group of friends I had, people like Caleb Yano, Dante Yano, Victor Shaw, Joseph Napier. We knew as far as athletics went, we had something special. And one of our goals I could remember when we were younger is to stay together and kind of put Youngstown Christian on the map, which we ended up, in my opinion, doing in high school by winning some championships in basketball, getting closer together on the football field, and leading into that, my time as a player and as a coach, I had some influential people there, specifically, our head football coach when I played there, Brian Merrow, and Dolph Carroll, that I've obviously now I work alongside Dolph and coach for him, but that has just made a great impact on me and the man I've become. The school is now, as my role as an administrator, as a dean of students, it's become a very special place to me. I think our mission is so important to the students and the youth in our community, providing a place for them to be surrounded by Christ-like adults, and we're speaking into their lives, whether that's in the classroom, on the field, in chapels and whatnot. We're trying to, obviously, as our mission says, love more and expect more, and then we want to push them into the community to be more, and to be better people and be successful in any area of life.
When I first started at Valley Christian, I started here as a special education teacher in 2014. At the time, my daughter Alyssa was in 7th grade, who has autism, and I was really struggling to find a home and a school for Alyssa where she can really grow and succeed. I realized at Valley Christian they had the self-contained classrooms, so once my first couple days here, I asked if Alyssa could shadow for the day, and that was the best decision I've ever made for my child. I know God brought me here originally for Alyssa, to watch her grow at Valley Christian. She got the education and the space that she needed, but she loved cheerleading, so she got to do cheerleading, and she was part of the cheerleading squad all the way through graduation. Now she works at Valley Christian as an aide. Every single person that has worked here has poured into my daughter's life and made Alyssa who she is today, and I know without Valley Christian she would not be where she is.
I am the person at my point of first contact. It occurred to me that at the end of this coming year, I will have met every family in this school. They text me. My biggest times are when someone who's graduated, they'll send me a picture of something, a new baby, something, and I think, wow, this is so cool. But I look at our job here, or our discipleship. We hopefully installed Christ in them to know that they will not be alone through their walk, even though there's times when you feel like there is, because life is hard, but we'll give them enough confidence to do that. And it's been an honor to be here for this a number of years.
VCS has meant stability for my family, for my children, specifically coming from another state. My son had gone to different schools, and when we found VCS, this was it for us. I knew this is where I wanted him to be. The ability to be able to worship and honor God freely has definitely made a difference for sure. I love the family atmosphere here at Valley Christian. The one thing that remains constant is they don't want to leave. The relationships that I have with the staff, the administrators, the faculty, even the students, it's just been such a blessing. And to be able to come together, pray together, worship God together, to know even in the midst of adversity or whenever we're facing certain things, how we come together and we pray and how we cover our children here. I feel that everybody here cares about the children. They love the kids. I know that my children are cared for here. I know that as a person, I'm cared for here. I am so grateful for Valley Christian. I'm so excited that they've been operating for 50 years, and I'm praying that it'll be in operation for another 50 years. Looking forward to everything that lies in the future for Valley Christian Schools. And heck, who knows, maybe my children's children will end up at Valley Christian one day.
I've had some amazing memories from playing sports, school plays, going from the tiny gym and the tiny stage to churches, to getting our own stage, which was great. The new building, opening the new building our senior year, which was awesome. Prepared me really for the rest of life. I mean, I went on to go to Ohio State and the George Washington University in DC, but I can say it all started at Youngstown Christian.
It was a part of my life for such a long time, and there were great and wonderful moments and memories, and then there were some that were, at that point, some of the most painful memories that I've had. Mrs. Housel was my preschool teacher with Mrs. Zerke, and my high school teachers, Mrs. Malaska, Mrs. Wangard, Mr. Parada, Ms. Bequeth, everyone in between. I remember having Mrs. Mounts as a kindergarten teacher, and then again as a third grade teacher, Miss G, Miss Long, Miss Bequeth, Miss Boquist, Mrs. Kachurik. So they each kind of helped lay a foundation, a godly one that was rooted in the Bible, and it's made me who I am. One of the things that I remember vividly as a young child was going to the basketball games at Highway and watching all of the older kids getting to play, and I just remember being so inspired by that, and I couldn't wait till it was my turn to do those things. And I know that I was a girl, and that girls sports isn't necessarily viewed in the same lens as male sport, but I wanted to change that. And I remember going into different schools and seeing trophy cases and how they were just chocked full of plaques and individual accolades. And at Youngstown Christian, we didn't have any of that. YCS really just let me freely be myself and provided the opportunities and brought in coaches that helped me thrive. So they kept making strides to be better, to want more, love more, expect more, be more. And I feel that has been the evolution of the school. So I can't quite remember exactly what year, but we were a part of ACSI for a very long time. And then came the time that we were we want to be a part of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. And I think it may have been my 8th grade year. So us getting transitioned from, really only being able to play private, Christian schools to being able to play public schools was huge. Our soccer program at the time had been co-ed. So my freshman year, they started a football team, which kind of made it so that the soccer program, folded. And that was my true love at the time. So to hear that there was a good chance that we weren't gonna have a team was discouraging. The school was no, they brought in, a coach, Coach Ott and Charity Lynch at the time, and they built a soccer program. So my very first year playing soccer in high school was our very first ever all-girls soccer program. The school was trying to make strides to provide the best for its students. And like I said, it enabled me to thrive.
Hello everyone, Ryan Davenport checking in, class of 2010. Love, like that's what I think of when I think of Youngstown Christian. And I want to say it was the summer of 08 or 09 maybe, or 07. There was only one issue and nobody really knew this at this point in time, but yeah, I basically was like couch surfing, you know what I mean? Staying at friends' houses and like kind of like running away from the group home that I was assigned to at the time. But I didn't really care, you know what I mean? I was spending the entire summer preparing, playing, you know what I mean? Getting ready to, you know, start a new chapter at Youngstown Christian until Mr. Pecchia basically found out that I was forging a lot of signatures and even went as far as to recruit a friend's older sibling's girlfriend to answer the phone whenever Mr. Pecchia or Miss Cooper would call. And he basically pulls me to the side. He catches me in the hallway at some point. He goes, "Hey man, you don't go to school here." And in my mind, I'm like, oh no, the jig is up. So fast forward maybe a couple of days, I'm literally playing in a football scrimmage, starting on the football team. And Mr. Pecchia comes down the bleachers, pulls me to the side out of the scrimmage, equipment on and everything. He's like, "You're not going to school here. I don't know what I have to tell you to get you to understand that." I did not listen, needless to say, and it was first orientation. I'm walking around all my friends, you know, we're going class to class, grabbing syllabuses and whatnot. And Mr. Pecchia had enough. He sees me in the hallway, I have books, everything. He's like, "Go to my office right now." So I'm like, I go to his office and I'm sitting across that chair that I sat in many a time. It was not my first time gonna be in that office, but when I think back on that moment in my life, I remember sitting there and I was heartbroken, you know, because I realized at that point in time, this isn't gonna happen. Like, I have to really accept this. And that was like one of the first times I think in my life, anybody looked me in the face and asked me, "Hey, like, what is going on? Like, what is your deal?" And I felt seen. I was sad, but I felt seen, and seen enough to where I basically admitted the truth. And I basically told him, "Hey, I have a lot of problems at home and I don't really belong anywhere right now. And I don't know how I'll pay for this, but I want to go to school here." And sorry, I don't really tell this story often, but he looked at me and he said, "All right, we'll figure it out." And genuinely, when I think back on my life now, I'm a sales director for a tech startup here in Austin, Texas. I'm a veteran. And that moment played an integral part, you know, of all of this. I went back to coach. I was able to coach, mentor, and really like pour into some of kids who looked like me, and that made me really proud to be an alumni of Youngstown Christian.
You know, as I reflect back on my time at Youngstown Christian, I came as a sophomore, had been in public schools my entire life, and the focus and the foundation that was laid for Christianity, to be a Christian, to be able to speak about it in school with fellow students that had the same thoughts, beliefs, and ambitions to serve God. You know, it's a hard journey. I can tell you I probably haven't got it right more often than not, but that foundation stuck with me, stayed in my heart. I'm 43 years old now, and every time I think back at my time at Youngstown Christian, I smile. I think back as some of the fondest memories of my life. Wonderful, wonderful teachers that actually cared about me, that listened to me, that wanted to see me succeed. And thank you, Valley Christian, for giving me such an amazing high school experience. I love you. You will always be in my heart.
Valley Christian has meant a lot to us. Both of us has had siblings who have graduated from here, and we have seen the impact that the school has had on them.
Valley Christian has come with good relationships with staff and teachers. Thank you to the teachers and staff for all your years of service and always leading us back to Jesus Christ.
On behalf of the students of Valley Christian Schools, we want to congratulate the school on 50 years, and we wish the best for the future of the school.